Alright, in this video we're going to cover a really simple sparring strategy tip that you really only see exploited at high level or international competitions. We call it the 3-second rule, and we're getting started right now. What's going on, friends? My name is Nick. Welcome to another video. If this is your first time on here though and you're a martial artist looking to make the most out of your training and gain your edge, make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell icon. That way you won't miss a thing. But right now we're going to jump right into this concept, which is called the 3-second rule. Alright, so one of the things that we're always taught when we're first learning how to spar is don't be in the same place for too long. Or at least we should be taught that. So it really makes a lot of sense in that if I stand there for too long, both sides get complacent and you really lose track of a lot of strategy and setup and everything. So it is definitely something we want to make sure that we're moving and not setting for too long. But what winds up happening, and this is kind of after years and years of watching different competitions all over the world and competing against people from all over the world, is that people have this kind of built-in timer that lasts for about 3 seconds. Now this is at most levels. Once you get to elite level or international competition, usually you see this being changed and modified a little bit because they've learned this trick by now. But the whole idea is that if I move and move and move and then I set in front of my opponent, usually you'll see people set for about 3 seconds and then either fake or move in or move back, change their angle. Something happens right around the 3-second point, which is kind of weird to think about. But let's take a second and look at a couple clips here. Alright, now don't get me wrong, both of these fighters are great. They have awesome movement, great techniques, and great strategy. But when it comes down to falling into the same rhythm as the other person and kind of falling trapped to this 3-second rule idea, it takes away from our ability to hide our techniques and not be predictable. Now that person might not know exactly what I'm going to do, so I might move back, I might fake, I might go in, I might just swat their front hand. But whatever I'm going to do, it's that sort of time frame, give or take a half a second, that most people move in. So what we want to do is make sure that we are either breaking off before that, or you'll see at high level they'll sit there for longer, which is kind of to try to make the other person anticipate and make some sort of a mistake. It's where you can sit there and analyze. It does kind of get a little bit boring sometimes. Even just watching, knowing what's going on, you see both people just bouncing. They're not just sitting there not doing anything. They're analyzing. They're trying to get the other person to do something or make some sort of a mistake or get impatient. But when we're doing this, we really want to be crafty and really careful if we are going to sit there for too long. So make sure you're at a distance where your speed, your timing can actually back you up from that distancing. Now, most of the time what I suggest, especially as we're coming up, if you're an underbelt or just getting started in competition or just trying to improve your numbers in sparring, if you break off after a couple seconds, or even when you're standing there and they say go, get in your stance and immediately move one way or another, and that'll automatically put the other person in a situation where they have to respond to you, and it kind of sets a theme for the rest of the fight that way. Now, if you're trying to change up this timing, you can either move away, you can attack, or you can use one of the 3 ways that you can almost passively control your opponent. And I have a full another video on those, so if you want, I'll put it up in the corner here so you can check that out. Alright, so to kind of recap this video, the whole idea is don't wait until you get uncomfortable before you do some sort of an action. So if you're sitting there and you're moving, Don't wait until you get to that point where you're uncomfortable and you think, oh man, I should do something now. be more proactive than that and either plan to wait longer or plan to move earlier. So if I start moving, we're shifting around and we kind of set in front of each other, 1, 2, 3, don't go right on that 3-second mark. All right, if you do realize that you're kind of falling into that trap, don't go in. Make sure you break off to the side or back just to give yourself some more distance. But if you go in, there is a chance that they will be able to pick up on that timing because they're looking for something at the exact same time. All right, so this whole idea just falls down into the idea where you don't want to fall into someone else's rhythm and timing. So you want to be able to control that rhythm and control the distance of the fight. That way you have a much better chance of having it come out in your favor. All right, so if this makes sense, if you like these sorts of strategy videos, please hit us with a thumbs up and drop a comment with your thoughts or any questions you might have. We always love to connect with you guys down in the comment section. But have a great time training this. Let me know if you have questions, but have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next video. All right, peace.